people doing interesting things where you can expand your connections, your community. Kindness is cool and smiles are free. And let's get this party started. Once again, just talking away, ignoring the fact that we're going to start a show. And we have Don and Dina back on the show. And thank you so much for being here.
How are you? Pirates, how's everybody doing out there today?
Thanks for having us again, Russ. It's great.
Yeah, fantastic.
Pirates.
Well, it's fun to get caught up on everything that's going on around the world. And I know that you are both excited about maybe getting out a little bit more this year. So give us an update on what's taking place in Don and Dina's life.
The floodgates have opened, and we're so grateful.
Yeah, we're back to performing. It's great writing contracts and seeing events back in shape and people out and enjoying live entertainment, as you can imagine. And also we're back to speaking about our great book, 31 Cents to 43 Countries. And that's been great to be out there back in the speaking environment and helping those that need it, especially if you're pivoting and turning and trying to figure out a new path, or you have a new path and you're trying to still figure out what to do ahead of time.
Yeah, one thing we know for sure is these virtual environments are not going away. So we're going to start seeing a lot of hybrids, meeting in person, meeting online. So Don and I, we were just talking about that. We've actually been working in virtual environments since 1992 with our first DoD contract. So that's a long time. And I actually started teaching online at one of the first online private universities in 1998. So we've been doing this a long time. So we've got a lot of tips and tricks to managing remote employees. And so
to working nationally, to working globally, all those type of things, and to working with different cultures.
So what would be an example of a tip that you would want to share with the pirate community that would encourage somebody to think differently and how they're approaching, being stuck versus being available to the world? Because that's the way I look at it. It's like, okay, we're here right now. We're not in the same building. We're not in the same space. However, we're still able to have a conversation. So what would you give as an example of something that would be, kind of a tip that people could think about?
So I think one of the things when you're working in global environments is that we have to remember that even though we may be in the same time space, we're really not. So culture can really affect timing. And so that's one of the things that you have to kind of address right off the bat. So what is response time going to be like? Even when we're doing podcasts globally, sometimes we don't get responses for 3 or 4 days. And that might be very normal for, let's say, a culture in Latin America, but it's not normal for us. So you kind of have to address some of those things right away. You have to come up with your own norms as a team, right, to decide how you're going to move through these virtual environments. And timing certainly is one of them. Because as you know, when you don't respond in a particular way, oftentimes people misunderstand or misrepresent what it is they're actually saying. You might interpret it incorrectly as well.
Yeah, and especially now, this is when everybody sort of has pivoted and sort of capitalizing on the unknown. Yeah. This has been a time where everybody's been able to reinvent what they're doing. They got a new wheel. They maybe have started a new company. And do you have your business plan in place? Do you know what your niche is? Do you know what your audience and what you're pinpointing towards? We've been able to help a lot of people gear up that, especially through our book and what we've been doing, working in virtual environments so long. Everybody needs a little bit of help right now. And if you can help inspire and turn that key on for somebody, then we're all about passing that baton and making sure there's success at the end of the road for you.
Well, the pirates are all about, a little bit of kindness. And what I hear in your message also that resonates with me is patience. Have a little patience with other people because you don't know what other people are going through.
Yeah, we don't know.
We talk about that in our book. The fact that we actually had somebody that reached out to us from South America, wanted to work with us. And because we were so quick to respond and jump on top of it and be eager, we lost that connection.
Because we forgot to create the relationship first. And, as Americans, as Americans, we don't always need to create the relationships. We can hand out business cards. If we have a superior product, people will buy it. They'll come back for more. But it's not like that in most of the world. You've got to learn to create that relationship. You kind of move a little slower, and it's okay.
Yeah.
You don't got to nail that business relationship right away. Let it take time to grow.
Yeah, and if they don't respond in 24 hours, give them another 72 if that's what it takes.
Or a week.
Or a week. We have found that, especially when we worked, for instance, in Fiji, it could take them 2 weeks before they actually got back to us. It's just a different type of culture.
It's a different,
time set, mindset.
Yeah, timing is flexible. It's not standardized like it is here in the U.S.
Yeah, I've worked with friends in Samoa, and it's very island timing is prevalent. And
that's true. It is.
The pace it's just laid back. It's like, hey, no worries.
And Russ, if you can get on that, wow, it's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good place to be.
I don't blame them one bit. When you get there, it's like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Hey, I want to give a shout out to a few people that have joined in so far.
Absolutely.
Elise is all the way from South Africa. She's here. She's been a pirate. She's been
played in South Africa.
Just love to have her join every day. And I think Jeff Young, love you, man. I just really love what you do. He's a LinkedIn expert, a guru.
Namaste.
Namaste. Good morning, Russ. All the ships at sea go pirates. Namaste. Marcia Reese, another phenomenal individual that's here she lives over in the Scottsdale way. So, she's an amazing individual that I always love to see. Kathy Spooner, again.
Hey, Kathy, how you doing?
Just so supportive. Such a wonderful energy coming into the Pirate Nation. Always important to remember that not everyone has the same computer speeds when it comes to reaction to.
That's true.
Amen to that, Marcia. Amen to that. I also want to have you talk a little bit about your audiobook. We started talking about it before we got on the show.
Sure.
And I want to remind people that you can type in hashtag Pirate Nation, because we're going to be giving away an audiobook. Would that be okay?
That's right. You'll get the audiobook of this.
And what it does is and I'll let you expand on this, but it kind of brings the music into the story a little bit. So
it really does. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. Is a lot of our songs were actually written for our tours that we were going to, and so you get to have that in our book, that it weaves you on that path through music into that journey of what that journey was. So you're taking the journey musically, and you're hearing it through Audible being told to you. So you really feel like you're there. And what we have found is that a lot of the folks that have heard our Audible says it jumps out at you. You feel like you're in a motion picture. You're just not listening to a book. You're in an action-packed film that you're actually learning and have things that you can take away.
So we're taking you into Afghanistan. We're taking you into Bosnia. We're taking you into Fiji with us. We're taking you to Russia. Russia's really interesting.
Yeah, Azerbaijan.
Yeah,
Oman.
So we're not just sharing our business tips and tricks with you, but we're actually taking you on our journey, our worldwide journey, and all the interesting and challenging and exciting things that happen. And we have a wonderful voice actress, Tia Ryder. They actually picked her up. She's in Hollywood now, but we got her before she left. So we've had really good feedback about her as well.
Very talented, Tia Ryder.
Yeah.
Awesome. Marcia says, happy anniversary is our day.
Happy anniversary. That's awesome. How lucky that we are to spend it with you.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And also, I hope to see you Saturday, Marcia. It's Founders Guild on Saturday. So, and yes, type in hashtag Pirate Nation, and we'll get that drawing at the end for the audiobook. Is there one location that you would like to perform in that you haven't yet performed in? Do you have something on your target or your bucket list or your map of locations that you thought this would be kind of a cool place to go to?
Yeah, we've been all around. As you know, we've been in and out of the Middle East for years and years and years, but we've not been into Israel. We'd like to go to Israel, actually. And we always wanted to perform with musicians both in Israel and the Gaza Strip, to bring everybody together. We actually did this in Azerbaijan and in Armenia, who are have conflict and have had conflict for years and years and years.
Yeah.
And so we find that when we bring musicians together, regardless of the culture and background, music transcends everything. And it brings everybody together, regardless.
You're touching people.
Yeah. And so that's something that we have always wanted to do. We haven't quite found the link yet to help us get there, but I think eventually we will. Put it out there in the universe and
Yeah, we've been on every side of the border.
Yeah.
And it's really wild when you get that close and you're like, man, we could just go right through here if we just went through the gate today.
Yeah.
So it's hard to be that close and yet you're that far.
Yeah.
So for us, it's always about unity when we do these performances, as Dina said, usually with the U.S. State Department or things like that. We're creating so they can join us on stage and become part of that. So we're creating unity, not with only the community, the city, the country, and two countries. So there's actually conversation at the table and the conversation continues.
Yeah. Do you see, since you started a few years ago, and you've kind of taken this journey and visited the world, does it seem like a different place today than it was when you first started?
I think in some ways, but I think that people are all the same. I mean, we don't change as human beings. You meet some wonderful people, you meet some not so wonderful people. Certainly technology and globalization have influenced the way that we interact. So it seems like the world is now in our living rooms, where when we first started, that certainly wasn't the case.
Or in your pocket.
Yeah, 1992, I wasn't sitting here with you or sitting with a podcaster from India or from the UK or Germany,
right?
Having an intimate conversation like this. It was a different type of environment, but I think as humans, we're pretty much the same.
And especially in environments that we've been to, that's a big part of it. Is we like sharing the cultures and getting people to understand where we've been and how to communicate in those areas. I mean, as you know, a simple thing as giving your business card to somebody, how you can present it, can really make a difference or break that whole meeting. They won't tell you right then, but those are the big things that we've seen.
The side effect lasts forever.
Oh, yeah.
It really can, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Especially in our industry. We're in the meetings and event industry, and you just cannot afford to make a mistake as musicians.
No.
Yeah.
Because you oftentimes represent you're representing the meeting planner, you might be representing the corporate buyer, and one mistake there, they don't have you back. So, we learned pretty quickly not to make mistakes.
So when you go into a new country and you're unfamiliar with the customs and some of the things, do you have to, or do you often choose to select someone to kind of guide you through that maze and navigate to best practices, so to speak?
So we do research before we go into a country, but honestly, Russ, when we get into a country, oftentimes what we read and what's really going on are two different things. If we're with the State Department will certainly update us and tell us and react quickly to whatever needs to be done at the moment. But if we're not traveling with the State Department, then we have to just be on high alert. We have to be people, and we have to be aware. And we're musicians anyway, so we're very in tune to our audience, right? We're in tune to what's going on around us. Yeah. And so we just need to make sure that we keep that level of awareness so that we see what's going on and we can react appropriately.
Yeah, Wendy says, I am confident that Israel would welcome all pirates, Admiral. You have
that would be awesome.
2 for 1. Awesome. That would be awesome, Wendy.
We love it.
We look forward to going there and actually performing and creating a great relationship with the people there.
Yeah, it's awesome. In fact, she has her kids are over there, so it's really nice to be able to understand other relationships. When I lived in Houston, I dealt a lot with different cultures. It's a very diverse city, and
yes, it is.
I was running a radio station over there, and even the nuance of what you would suggest is like a South Asian culture is there's a lot of diversity within the culture itself.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's the nuance, and until you actually start getting down and understanding what the differences are and why they exist is really, it's important to understand when you're in dealing with a culture. I just find it fascinating. So
yeah, and I was going to say, Ross, sometimes we're not in country long enough to get that to address what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I will say this: respect goes a million miles. So politeness, being respectful with one another. Don't forget your thank yous, your please. I mean, just being kind, which is what pirates embrace, right? That's what you embrace and your pirates embrace. That'll get you everywhere, every single time.
I love it. I love
That's a universal concept.
Yeah. Everybody smiles universally.
And you know what? Smiles are free.
Yeah, absolutely.
And aren't they healthy? They look good on you.
They do.
I know. I didn't get these wrinkle lines for nothing.
Yeah, they're well earned, my friend.
What wrinkle lines? I don't see any wrinkle lines.
Yeah.
I love you, Dina. So is there any place that you're playing out locally that where if somebody
we perform for Fortune 500 companies, more or less. We played at the Phoenician actually a week ago. We did the first big event here, opened up in Arizona to 300 people. So it was great. Even the folks at the Phoenician were like, "Oh my God, a band to hear live entertainment."
But we are working on a show that we can't talk about yet because we shared with you. We haven't signed off on the dotted line, but it is with a well-known actor. And so when that gets moving forward, they're going to release it in theaters. So we'll let you know.
We'll make sure the pirates get to know. And get the heads up on everybody else.
And I want to recap to everyone that may not have had a formal introduction to who you are and why you're here. Because Kathy Spooner says, I'm curious about your music and your connection with the State Department with your music. I missed the introduction for you today. Sounds intriguing. You can go back and listen to the original episode but if you could recap for those who may not be familiar with us.
So we were picked up by the Department of Defense in 1992 for Desert Storm 1, and that turned into, they actually sent us to the wrong country, Singapore, after we did our work for them our tour, and that ended up being a 15-year contract or 18-year relationship.
Wow.
And during that time, we played with some of the places we played were at U.S. embassies because Marines guard the U.S. embassy. And so we were picked up by the State Department in 2007 to work with the State Department to promote American culture through American music. And we started working, I think Azerbaijan and Armenia were.
Yeah, Armenia and Azerbaijan was our first U.S. Embassy, U.S. State Department assignment.
On behalf of not performing just at, but on behalf of the U.S. State Department. And then I got my doctorate in business in 2010, and our embassy contact reached out and asked if I'd be interested in doing keynotes and workshop on entrepreneurism, small business, marketing, management. And so we started doing workshops at places like American Corner Libraries all over the world, University of Hungary, University of South Pacific. And so we started actually doing a business model that had us speaking during the day and then performing at night, which was great because we could connect with our audiences during the day and then we could connect with them at night. So it really does reinforce not just American entrepreneurialism, capitalism, but certainly American music as well. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 package, and we brought that back here to the US.
We actually brought that business model home. Yeah. And by doing that, we've been able to expand not just from being offering live entertainment, but also into speaking and workshops in the meeting and events industry. So think about it. How many times have you seen a speaker during the day and then they have an event that evening or a gala? Well, imagine if the speaker was also your event at the end of the evening. Or are you building a better relationship with that group of people? It's long-term and forever. Yes, you are. And so it's an extra added niche that we never saw coming by capitalizing on the unknown. And we talk about that in our book.
Yeah. You've always got to be aware of those things.
And it's fascinating to hear you say that again, because one of the things that I loved about your story was the fact that you're traveling all over here. You know, that's one piece of the puzzle, but also teaching and training people on entrepreneurship and business and some of the things that go on. They don't always feel like they go hand in hand, but they do. I mean, when I was playing musician out, it was always hustling out, to get jobs and talk to event coordinators and find places to play or create your own venues to play. And you really have to get creative, just like any other entrepreneur, and sometimes even more so.
Yeah. So, sales, music, it's a music business. If you're going to make money on it, raise a family on it, which Don and I did, it is a business first. Don's on the phone every day making his sales calls because he has to. We have to constantly bring in business in. If you run it like a business and you have a good quality product to sell, people, you're going to do well.
I get that a lot. People are like, how's your band able to been making a living over 31 years for Fortune 500 companies traveling around the world without a record deal or management? How is that even possible? Yeah. And as you know, you got to get your ask in gear. If you don't ask, you don't get. And
protect your assets, right?
That's right. And so, like Dina said, it's one thing to have a great product, but you have to get on the phone, create the relationships, make sure that people see you out there. Yeah. And then when you are performing, a lot of our events actually go into overtime, especially now that people have been starving for entertainment. We did a show Saturday night and they just kept on going. Can you guys just stay for a little bit longer? Let's keep the wheel going. We don't care how much it costs. We just want to have live entertainment. Yeah. So that's a great thing right now.
And we're so happy to be with them. It was joyful for them. It was joyful for us to watch how happy the music was making them. When we're ticking and going along, think about how much our job is to bring joy to people. It doesn't get better than that.
Best job in the world.
It's the best job in the world. That was my first love, and it's always been my love of music and performing and playing live. There's, until you actually have the opportunity to play live, nothing compares.
No, there's nothing like it.
And it's really helped us in our speaking. Think about it. How many speakers are actually entertainers as well?
Yeah.
So when we're on the stage, we own the stage, and we make sure that people are learning, moving their dial forward, and answering their questions, and then staying with them afterwards. Also, is following up and making sure that if they go, man, that you touched on a point, I'd like to talk about that further. Can we just talk for a couple more minutes? It's like, we're here to help you and make sure that torch is going forward.
The other thing that I see really happening a lot is, because social media is so prevalent, you have so many opportunities to be distracted that I think relationships are even getting more and more important as we go through life. And taking the time, like you said, Don, is really critical to be able to notice people, listen to them, have patience, and actually understand what they're saying and what they're asking for. Because sometimes what they say is not necessarily what they're asking for.
Oh, that is so true. That is so true. You've got to watch, and we do this when we travel too. You got to watch what people do, not just what they say.
Yeah, that's acute awareness.
But they'll do something different.
Yeah, it's an acute awareness of your surroundings.
Yes.
And especially, I've learned all these years that we have a huge peripheral vision when we're going someplace, that we look at the bigger picture. Yeah. And I think with multimedia, people seem to get focused very narrow and lose their perception of that open scenery to see in a panoramic view what's going on. And I think it helps you with your business sense. You're reading the environment of a room, how people's temperaments and their body language is. We all haven't been able to do that for a long time because everybody's been in Zoom media. So to have that back and feel the room, feel the energy,
you get a sense that people are burnt out on Zoom.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. They want to have communication across the room again, to ask questions, see people raise their hands and communicate. And like you and I were just talking about, even after we're speaking with somebody, to have 5 to 10 people still want to talk to you afterwards. We always take that time to make sure that, like you said, to have the patience to help them. They're looking for knowledge. And if we can help them turn that dial a little bit forward and help them expand, that's what we're there for.
We're
Yeah.
going to be speaking in Tempe on Friday morning and for a group. And they asked if we wanted to actually, they've opened up, but they're also still doing Zoom. If we wanted to do it Zoom or if we wanted to come in person, and we opted for in person. We just want to be around people again and in the same room with people again.
Well,
So
I've
we're looking forward
coordinated
to that.
with, I totally get that. And I've coordinated with some cinematographers in different cities to actually do an in-person event
Awesome.
that streams live.
Love it.
And so I'll help coordinate the live stream, and Trey, my buddy, will be operating the cameras. And so the people that are not quite ready to go back into public, or they're not able to make the event, can still
Right.
attend the event. And I really see that as part of the future
Yes.
in event coordination as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The hybrid
this isn't
model.
going away. It's
No.
just going to be, I would call this the 1.0 is right now, because you can imagine what this is going to be like in 10 years from now.
Yeah.
We might even feel when we're on Zoom or we're on one of these platforms, we might even feel the audience. They'll come up with something technology that will allow us to do that.
That's crazy.
So if you got a cooking show, maybe they'll have like scratch and sniff or something.
Aroma vision, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm waiting for it. Or,
You know it'll be there.
or they actually cook it and you get to taste it because it's come into your kitchen somehow.
Can you smell those veggies?
Remember Star Trek?
Yeah. Yeah. I just want one of those things. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be so easy and simple. I would love it. I would love it.
Me too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
if I never have to cook again, I'll be happy. I can just press a button and voila.
Yes.
Now for me, I love to cook.
I enjoy cooking, and I enjoy convenience. It's probably about even Steven. So
Break even there.
Yeah. Hey, before we get close to wrapping up, I just want to make sure that people know and understand how to connect, collaborate, and contact Don and Dina. So kind of give us a roadmap of how you like people to reach out and connect with you.
Well, please reach out to us on LinkedIn. That's our number one spot. We have over 9,000 connections and followers. So if we can introduce you to somebody or connect you with somebody, feel free to connect with Dina and I through LinkedIn. Also, you can go to our speaking site, deospeaks.com, and look at our content, look at what we have there we have workshops, we have our book, of course, presentations, and then we even have a download for 10 tips and tricks that we share with you on DEO Speaks.
And if you're a music lover, check out our music website, which is our band website, which has all the fun pictures from all over the world.
Which is DinaPrestonBand.com, and that's DINA PrestonBand.com. And you can see the 43 countries we performed in. You can hear our new album, Field of Blue. That's also available on all your favorite musical platforms. And our music videos on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. If you love music and you want to see something that's going to inspire you, watch our music videos, not only from our album, but we have a couple touching songs on there. Where Is She?
I think that's got about 10,000 views already.
Where Is She was written for Women's International Day. And then So Blue was written for PTSD. And we have Field of Blue that was written for our troops in remembrance. And then, of course, our book. That's on Amazon. And that's 31 cents to 43 countries. Hardcore tips to increasing profits.
I love it. I love it. So I want to give this audio book away.
Yeah, let's get this puppy away.
Let's find the lucky winner, the lucky pirate today. Let me share this out. This is kind of a cool, fun little. It's a fun little thing I've added to the pirate community here today.
It was a IAN book award winner last year for outstanding nonfiction in business, sales, and economics. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Thank you so much.
And IAN is the Independent Author Network.
Okay. All right. Well, learn more about Don and Dina, track them down, connect on LinkedIn, get all the links. And what you have is an opportunity to make a deep and long-lasting relationship. Don and Dina, this is the second trip to the pirate broadcast, the pirate ship here. And you're always so inviting. You're always so open and willing to have a conversation. I just really appreciate it.
So great to be on board, especially with all the pirates out there.
Yeah, it's great to be part of your community, Russ. We appreciate you having us. Thank you.
You bet. So let's do this drawing. Let's got a couple of people here.
Here we go.
If you're not here, you can't participate. So love it.
And the wheel's turning. Who's going to be our lucky winner today?
Yay!
Hey!
All right.
Hey!
So I'll connect both of you after the show, and we'll get you on board and make that introduction. And I really love the idea that we can actually, build relationships around the world and learn more about the planet we live in, because we're all human. We're all doing the same thing together.
We are
flying through space in the same rock.
Further.
Say that again.
Kindness gets you so much further.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for being here. I really appreciate all the effort. And when you have an opportunity to announce some new announcements, let me know, and we'll see what we can do to get that shared out to the community as well.
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
We can't
so
wait
much.
to share that secret with
Wishing
you.
everybody a blessed day and a blessed week.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Success to our pirates out there.
Yay!
Take care. Enjoy the day, because kindness is cool. Smiles are free.
Hey,
And
certainly
you
not.
enjoy the day.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about, join the Pirate Syndicate today.